Okay. What it do? Jacob, you popped in for a split second. Then you bounced on out. It's all good. Okay. If you're watching the replay of this stream, this video, leave some comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm not sure how long I'll go. I know I did 2 hours of stream yesterday per the hot topic news of Yu Yu Hakusho getting a live action on Netflix. As we went in depth as to how that more than likely is going to be a bad thing. Hear any noise in the background? It's my fans. I have 2 fans blowing on me because it is still summertime. It's still hot. We're mid-July. But this type of weather, this high 70s, even mid 70s, even low 70s, that's perfect weather for me. I know some folks that actually prefer 80 something degree weather, like mid to high 80s, low 90s. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you can want that at all. That's that cheese. But I don't know how long this is gonna go, just because again, it all depends on the chat. Me, I'll probably talk about some stuff for 15-20 minutes, and if nobody pops in, then I will pretty much end the stream. But keynotes, I forgot my train of thought that split second. Keynotes, if you're a part of my channel, still working on trying to get consistent with the channel, even though again, it's a hobby for me, but trying to be a little bit more professional with my videos, per the thumbnails, per doing some live stream stuff, just to have some chill streams with y'all. But I'm also thinking about doing some other stuff with the channel when it's pertaining to videos, and well, more so again, it's more so pertaining to anime. Thinking about either doing some live stream reaction to anime, just having like a timer on the corner of the screen and me watching from the TV, having the volume up, maybe having the subtitles at the bottom of the screen, doing something of that nature, depending on just thinking out loud, just like rolling through my brain, something that I've been thinking about doing. I tended to try to do it a while ago. Seemed like it worked, but I just never was consistent at the time. But we'll see what happens moving forward. But again, Yu Yu Hakusho, it's big news yesterday. It's probably still going to be talking to town. Some other stuff's going on with anime that it's some interesting stuff per today's stream that I was thinking about doing the stream tomorrow, but people were supposed to coming back and working on my living room like I talked about in yesterday's stream. I kind of don't want all of that noise and stuff in the background. I felt like that was kind of rude of me yesterday, but it was just something that I felt like I needed to still have conversations with y'all anyway yesterday, just because again it was a hot topic, and I'm like, I really would rather just talk about this today because it's happening today. But with that, per the stream, like I said, depends on the chat. If anybody pops in the next roughly 10 minutes, if nothing happens after that roughly 10 minutes, a little bit over that, nobody shows up, then I'm going to be closing it within the 5 to maybe 10 minute time frame. But it's just interesting that I was noticing something that some fans were talking about that I wanted to do a stream on. I was going to do a video on, but I was like, I'll just do a stream. I was talking about yesterday in yesterday's stream. I was like, I want to do a live stream. Really wasn't planning to do the stream today, but I was just like, let me just do it today because it's supposed to come back tomorrow, blah blah blah. And I don't know how long they're going to be here to work on my living room tomorrow, and with all that noise and stuff in the background. but just something interesting that we're noticing in the anime community. Um, Now, the ongoing trend per anime is that, fans constantly wanting source material to come to life. We know I can't say for other anime, but I know for me, for the ones that I'm watching, I know for me, the one anime that sticks out to me when it's sticking and staying true to the source material is Demon Slayer. Mal, what's going on? How are you? So you wouldn't. How are you today? So you wouldn't mind if there was more 3D anime. It might streamline the process more than drawing, and they can make and reuse environments and stuff. That is something that is a part of the topic, right? But yeah, we're seeing this trend of source material anime. The only one that I can think of is Demon Slayer that's following the source material. Many fans want that, but with that, there are fans that complain about CGI, fans that, of course, complain about 3D. As long as they spend more time on the models and stuff, sure. If they're really putting in the work, right? We do notice that there are delays, and those delays can be very good, and sometimes they can be very bad. When delays happen, when the teams and stuff are really working on the anime, they get extra time, and usually the delays aren't because it's, from what I can tell, the delays on stuff is usually something to do with specific people being ill. Of course, natural disasters. We know that over in Japan they get a lot of like tsunamis and stuff, and that really sucks for them, right? So those type of things are understandable. But when the delays really work out and the team can actually pour more energy into working on stuff like how you're saying, Mal, working on the models, working on what they feel that they can tweak a little bit more, it definitely can be beneficial. I think it should for now be used for remakes and stuff. You have seen the Captain Harlock movie. I don't know what that one is. The CGI looks amazing, especially compared to the old 90s stuff. Cool. I have to check it out. But the thing about that is there's those fans, and that's the thing. I'm a part of those fans, but even though I'm still getting, becoming more integrated and I'm more so new to the anime scene, because I've only been really fully diving into watching anime from over 20 years ago, over the past like 5 or 6 years, that I'm still a part of the old school style of animation. Blue Sea sticks out to me. I haven't watched it yet, but Ghost in the Shell, the original, that pops in my head. Akira, I haven't fully watched that film. I watched a little bit of it. The art style, Ronin Warriors, Ronin Warriors. The art style. It's. I see images online a lot where fans will say, like, take me back to this style. Not now again, I'm not saying that the newer anime today, the animation isn't great. I'm not saying that at all. That animation, there are some really dope, great animation out there per these shows. Specific episodes that just stick out, right? But it's just something about that nostalgic for me and many others who, I would say for the most part, everybody else who've grown up on that style. But for me, who have seen these styles, and I'm like, man, this is what I missed out on way back when, but I'm watching it now, and it's just like, it's just so great. There's just something about that. But time goes on, things change and shift, and evolve even, and the next generation needs something fresh. While the older generation, we can make a decision to watch the new stuff or stick with the old stuff. So I take DBZ old animation over the animation they use for today. It's understandable. I too would prefer the old style DBZ animation because I still watch the old DBZ almost every year. Same thing with Bleach. Same thing with Naruto. But what I'm seeing, and some fans are starting to notice, is that we are seeing, it seems to be that there's a possible trend of them shifting the animation needle, at least in the direction of 3D. A lot of people I know, a few in person, they don't even like watching anime from the 2000s like Trigun because the art style looks old. It again, it's we can't fault them for, because I see it all the time on social media. When people talk about One Piece, many anime fans, they never even touched an episode of One Piece because they saw the art style and they just could not do it. They couldn't watch it. And then there's other fans that watched maybe a few episodes and they just can't do it. Maybe even just one episode, the first episode, they just can't do it. All I can do for those fans is just encourage them. Like I always, I know I mentioned this on a few streams in the past, but I always tell people, like even if you don't like the art style of a TV show or something, give the episode some breathing room to allow the plot to build for you. Give it 4 or 5 episodes, 6 episodes. At the same time, it just depends on the show. Depends on how many episodes there are. I always push for at least a middle ground. I always say 4 or 5 episodes. If it's like 10, I'm like 4 or 5. If it's 10 episodes, 4 or 5, then you can make a decision. Just let the plot breathe a little bit. See what they tried to do to direct it in a specific direction, to be able to see if it could capture your mind and your heart and your emotions. But with all of that, we still sit here and we are seeing possibly a change where they are more than likely, again, I could be totally wrong, more than likely turning towards 3D art style a little bit more. And like Mal, you said, like maybe they're doing this to ease back on the amount of time that it would take to make a scene come to life. We have Trigun here getting a 3D anime. Beastars is a 3D anime. A few others that I think. Let's see. Looks like God Eater. That's one I haven't watched it. I have it on my list to watch. I've watched a few episodes of King in the Shore. I actually have those episodes recorded for the channel. That was another surprise that I wanted to do. So, that's, in 3D, right? But I feel like we are seeing a trend. But could this be the actual trend where they actually take it and be like, well, we're just gonna have 70% or more 3D animation all across the board. Because like I said, over time, things evolve. It's just something that happens in life. Nothing truly stays the same for forever. And in the anime world, like I said, I feel like we are seeing, because I really just sat back, I was just like, yo, like I'm seeing a few extra animes out there actually in 3D. And I'm curious that if, like, specifically with Yu Yu Hakusho, if they decided to do a remake, would it be in 3D form? That's why I think that CGI could work for remakes. The style at least won't look old in a few years, not if it's done well, like Final Fantasy Advent Children, Captain Harlock from 05 and 2013. They both look amazing, look awesome. Advent Children is one of my favorite movies ever. But there are fans out there that really don't like CGI. Like I said, there are fans out there that would prefer the 90s feel of anime, would prefer really polished animation. Some fans would prefer only, like you're saying, would prefer CGI in specific spots, but not throughout the entire. I think Blue Lock is the anime is going to be in 3D as well. I think, if I remember from that trailer that they showed, I think that's another one that's getting a 3D animation. Genlock, I think Genlock's in 3D. That anime. So I'm thinking like I want to say over the past 5 years at least, anime has started to pick up these 3D art styles. Again, like I said, I personally would wish and hope that they would bring back the 90s art style, or even take what shows like Rise of the Shield Hero, maybe even Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga's art style is great to me. Use that style. Dragon Ball Superhero the movie that just dropped, that's in 3D. It's just an interesting thing that I was just noticing as I was sitting here and seeing people talk about, and I'm like, that is an interesting thing. I don't think the majority will be 3D, not yet. Maybe in a couple of years, and by then CGI style will have been perfected for at least stuff like environments, making moving shots more seamless. Could be a thing. I believe that can happen. At the end of the day, companies are going to do what they feel is best for us fans, and ultimately for their bottom line. There's that cheese, right? For environments, I think it won't be as bad because there's all sorts of background styles, hard lines, full color stuff like Samurai Jack, old hand painted style. I love Samurai Jack. I just didn't catch the continuation or the reboot. It was something that they did. I still gotta watch that other one, but I love Samurai Jack. So I'm just curious, will this be something that is going to, because honestly, it's gonna continue. They're gonna continue to, we know that there are specific studios that actually only do 3D animation. But will these other studios decide to do the same thing? Because of something like Dragon Ball Superhero the film. Even though, it didn't have great advertisement, it didn't do specific numbers that it was expecting to do for now, because it hasn't gotten pushed out to North America yet in August. I saw the film, and I personally enjoyed what I saw. I'm just, curious and wondering, will this be something that is going to uh, be expounded out further out to other studios? I'm just really just like curious about that. Maybe this will be a thing. I don't know if I will be fully upset that if this were to occur, because at the end of the day, I just want to watch anime. I'm not, me. I'm not a purist when it's pertaining to stuff like anime. I'm a little bit of a purist when it's just a smidge, like a very small percentage of my heart is a purist when it's pertaining to Star Wars, just a smidge. But when it's pertaining to anime, I'm just like, I just want a great story. I just want a great story, some great action, maybe a little bit of romance, definitely comedy. But as long as the story is keeping me coming back week to week as each episode gets pushed out, I will gladly sit in front of my phone or my TV or whatever and watch these episodes from start to finish. And then, of course, do reactions for them, put my views and thoughts on them and stuff like that. Let's see. The thing about animation is that for anime that go by the manga and the mangas, the mangas will always have a distinct style and black and white, correct, because of how much time it takes to draw, so that will influence the anime style to a degree anyway. Yeah. I feel like continuously to the end of time, manga, unless again we see a specific trend, I feel like manga will always be in that specific art style, in black and white. Even though I know fans would love to have specific manga in color. But of course, that's where anime comes into the play, and animation comes into play, where they can give it the color and then give it the style and make it come to life that way. So I'm just really just curious and wondering. Give me a second, I forgot to do this. I've been talking this whole time. Let's see. unless an affordable method of making mangas faster comes out, I don't think it will be changing anytime soon. I don't, we don't, we like, we we can definitely agree that manga style, the art style, it's been like that for generations. I don't think it can change. There's specific things that don't change. We know that for sure. But there's a plethora of other things that do change, right? The simplest thing would be would more mangakas would using digital instead of traditional. That won't happen anytime soon because of learning curves. But once that one but ones that do it digitally work several times faster. We know that digital the digital realm is growing more and more, and physical copies of stuff, it's going down. I would say it's going down a little bit. Now there's still mangas out there that are still selling like hotcakes, because there are still fans out there that still want the physical copies of stuff, which is great to me because I'm just like, look, I personally, I love going to libraries. I love the smell of libraries because of the smell of the books. Love just having books in my hand. Yes, Solo Leveling is digital, right? But I do know that digital is becoming a thing because it is becoming much easier to just really just at a push of a button access the pages of a book in digital form way quicker than it is to get up, go out, go to the store, buy the book, come home, sit down. By the time you do all of that, if you're here at the house and you've already digitally downloaded it into your phone or your iPad or whichever, you've already read several pages or a few chapters. Literally, you go out and it takes you maybe, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, maybe to an hour in total to go get the book and or books to then come home to sit down and read it, unless you're reading some of it on your way back, depending on the situation. But still feel like there still should be a, just like when it's pertaining to the topic at hand, for both situations, that whether it's the art style of the anime or the physical copies of a manga, we should still want to. Literally, I just read a comment of somebody where I was talking about something about Yu Yu Hakusho. Somebody just left a comment and they said that you shouldn't watch it. The less people who don't watch the stuff will cause them to stop doing stuff like this. It's really not. It's not gonna have every studio stopping, or even Netflix stopping them from making this stuff. Yes, like we could say like the movie Sonic got changed because of the backlash from fans, blah blah blah. But companies are gonna do what companies do best. Let's care more so about the money flowing to their bank accounts more than what the fans want. Now again, like I said, we fans, we want to keep some specific art style animation to stick and stay. We want that. There are fans out there that do sit and enjoy 3D animation, but there are a lot of fans that don't. I think as far as books go, audiobooks are more convenient. Yeah. In this era, you can listen to it on the bus while you're in the car and the traffic. Yeah, cooking. Yep, that's easy access, quickly, boom. And even we see the topic about subbed and dubbed. Like people, some anime fans, they don't want to sit and read subtitles because they would rather be doing something else, like you're saying, cooking, cleaning the house. They throw an anime on, and they're just letting it play in the background. The dub is playing, words are flying out off their television or their iPad or their phone, and they're able to still do stuff. They can be able to hear stuff. Something pops up, they can just look and be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. But they're at least listening to the story and the plot and the conversations about its character. And that's why it's just like, per the topic of 3D animation, it's like I said, fans want to keep this art style of even like 90s or even early 2000s or mid 2000s or even early 2010s, right? The art style of animation, the fans want that style way more than CGI, way more than 3D. Like I said, there's a small percentage of fans that don't mind watching 3D animation at all. I consider and say that I don't mind watching 3D animation, but I just love the old school animation style. But fans, I feel like are definitely gonna see this thing. I think companies are noticing that it might be easier to do 3D animation. Probably costs a little bit less money and definitely less time to do their to put in the work to be able to put these episodes together and then push them out to the fans. Like I said, could what the DBZ, the Dragon Ball Super Superhero film, could that be? Willie T, what is going on, dude? How are you today? The homie Shock B is in the building. What is good, homie? See, Shock B saying that he loved the 3D animation art. But like I said, the fans, if they're really paying attention and they're noticing that there will be some anger, some yelling, some rage, because again, there are anime out there that are in 3D style, and they are literally specifically just 3D style. Maybe they wanted to test the waters with Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Maybe like I was talking about yesterday in the stream with Yu Yu Hakusho, that maybe they're looking at the numbers and like, okay, the fans love the film. We're actually gonna do that now. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna do the next Dragon Ball Superhero film. We're gonna do the next Demon Slayer movie or One Piece film or whatever. We're gonna do this stuff, and we're gonna do it in this art style. You know, Netflix is already doing these live actions. They're just continuously just throwing that out there. At the end of the day, the companies are gonna do what they want to do. Not the you said talking about not the 3D, the film. You talking about the fan film, the 2D. Okay, I thought you were talking about the 3D. That's my fault. My fault, legend. So yeah, at the end of the day, companies are going to do what they want. Can the anime community go into uproar? Can they push back and say to the company, no, stop it, don't do this, we're not watching, you're not getting any money from me until you decide to? Because again, it happened with Sonic. That's one specific instance where it happened with Sonic in that film. If the companies have a consistent trend to be able to be like, all right, we're gonna continue with this 3D art style moving forward. Will the fans have enough power to be able to say, nope, we're not supporting this until you get rid of this stuff? Because again, like I said, 10 minutes ago, I think I said, saying like, there are specific studios that are, their focal animation art style is specifically 3D. That's all that they are known for. That's all that they do. And there are fans that watch that and love that. They can get into that. Is it would it be a bad thing if moving forward over the next 15 years or even 10 years, would this be a bad thing if art style in anime changed to 3D? That's the question. I feel many fans will say yes. Some fans will say maybe. And a few fans will say no because they don't mind it. But I just feel like a majority would say yes because they would prefer old school. They would prefer, they don't want CGI. They don't want 3D. They want, I think Chainsaw Man, that's supposed to be coming out, I think in, what is it, October, is in 3D art style. I think that one is too. I think, I could be wrong. Or it's just in like a, I have to go back and look at this trailer. Could be wrong about that. But I'm just, like I said, it was just something that I had noticed some fans were talking about over the course of the past 48 hours, and I was just like, I wonder. So I haven't seen Demon Slayer, but every time I hear about it, I'm reminded of it reminds me of an anime I have seen, which, samurai fighting demon monsters doesn't get cooler than that. Is that the one that I was told to watch? It was one of the streams like a month ago or something like that. We were watching top 10. By the way, that stream ended up getting blocked and taken down eventually within, I think, that week, because if anybody was here during that stream, I was watching that top 10 anime moments or something like that, and I think that one, Mal, that you're talking about specifically, I think it's that one. I think it's a movie or something like that. I gotta see. I wish I still had the stream, so I would look it up. I'll probably just have to look up the video if it's probably still available to watch, and I'll be able to see like, okay, that's the one that I was told I needed to see. So I'm just like I said, guys, I'm curious, wondering. See, it was probably me that mentioned. It probably was you. You probably were there that day. I can see the visual. I can see the anime. It was like a samurai-based type of anime, very gory and all of that. So I have to look it up. I'll probably look it up after the stream and make the decision on what. Like I said earlier in the stream, that I'm looking to possibly do some live stream reaction recordings. Just have this stuff on my TV, having it playing in the background, and having the timer on the corner of the screen here. And it'll be like a watch along, doing some live stream watch along stuff. So I'm just like, something I've been thinking about doing. Even today, anime art styles vary from serious to goofy, looking to styles. Today's styles will be considered classic in a few years. They do evolve, but I don't think it will evolve from hand drawing to CGI, just like that. Like I said, if they do decide to do that, will fans really accept it. I feel like they won't. I don't believe that, because people, they, at the end of the day, people want comfort, right? They enjoy specific stuff, and change is, of course, it is hard. Pertaining to anime, it's hard to, even when we're talking about like intros and outros alone. Like I hear the complaints all the time. Fans want specific intros and outros to stick and stay the way that they were from the beginning all the way to the final episode of that show, to the very finale. But we do know that there are specific intros that they do change that actually are close to, if not better than, the original intro and outro. So even with the art style of anime, people want specific anime to stick and stay. The animation art style to stick and stay the way that it is. Because the saying is always being said. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it doesn't need fixed, right? But again, like I keep saying, the companies are going to do what they want to do. So at the end of the day, it's about, the money being flowing through their bank accounts. They can't please everybody. They're going to please a handful of fans. But they will notice that if there's a trend of fans enjoying something, they will of course look to say, all right, we're going to work to try to do better and do this, that, and the third. It's just something that's just gonna, it's a constant cycle of stuff going round and round and round. I'm sure it will be one of many accepted styles, but it won't be the only one. Yeah, there are various styles. I just think that many fans just want a specific one to stick and stay. I do believe, because I keep mentioning it, because there are specific studios that are specifically only 3D, that's all that they do. I do believe that people still have a choice to be able to pick what they want to watch. They don't necessarily have to watch anime that is in 3D form if they don't want to. Like, nobody is forcing anybody to sit and watch something like Beastars, or get ready to prepare to watch this Trigun remake that's in 3D. To even watch the Dragon Ball Superhero movie that's in 3D. Many fans have seen the film. Many fans have actually watched the subbed version of the film. Originally, it came out with no subtitles; just people just watched. Then somebody actually translated and pushed out the subbed version of the film. But many other fans, there are other fans that just refuse to watch the sub. They're just patiently waiting for August to roll around. They're actually able to go out and go to the theaters and actually watch this movie in dub form. Because again, at the end of the day, they still have a choice to be able to say, I'm not going to watch this because I don't like the sound. Like I said, One Piece. Many fans don't want to watch One Piece simply because of the art style. They haven't even clicked on an episode. And then there are fans out there that watched the first episode and haven't picked it back up since. Because again, it was more so because of the art style. It wasn't because of the plot or anything like that. It was just more so because of the art style. And I'm always, like I said, I'm always an encourager to say, hey, just give it a few episodes. Maybe it will. But with that, and I feel like it's a there's only a specific handful of anime that does this. Where like Haikyuu, the anime Haikyuu, one of my favorite sports animes of all time, which I still gotta get back into reacting to here on the channel, so I can be fully caught up before hopefully the next season pops up. That it took I think a little over 7 episodes for it to get to a place where I felt like fans would just be like, okay, now I get what they were trying to do with this plot. Usually it takes me 1 or 2 episodes to really get into an anime. That one, it took a few. It didn't take up to 7. It just took me like 3 or 4 to really be like, all right, cool, great, because the plot was really building. It was really harboring on character development. So I'm just like, I'm not against 3D animation. Because at the end of the day, for me as an anime fan, I just want a great story. Great characters, great story, great chemistry between the characters. Even the great chemistry between villains and heroes. The atmosphere, the surroundings, the constant, we always are in cities and towns and villages and stuff like that. As long as I have a combination of all of that, anime could be in freaking 3D from start to finish of an entire series. I wouldn't care. As long as I am fully entertained and I'm loving these characters, the story, I personally don't mind watching anime in 3D art style. Honestly, if done right, any style can have an impact. I wouldn't mind for some series something like an animated style with voice acting and mostly still panels. That would be more cost effective for smaller studios. That's still a doable thing. But it is interesting though, because I grew up watching. I grew up. I grew up watching Gumby. That was a specific art style from back in the day. And I feel like if I sat down and watched Gumby right now, just an episode of Gumby, that the inner child of me would leap up with joy, remembering watching this style and not having an issue with it. Because something about the style still captured me. I was intrigued by the characters, intrigued by the story that they were telling in front of my eyes and on the television screen. So I'm just like, good art, but only semi-animated, but full voice acting. Sure, why not? It should. It I feel like it could work. Like I said with Gumby, it worked with Gumby. Different art style. It was a popular show. If fans can, who don't like the art style of One Piece, if they can, because there are fans that actually did enjoy One Piece, or it just took a couple of 100 episodes for them to really get into it, right? But if fans can push through hundreds of episodes of One Piece, and just allow the story itself to grow on them. Yeah, the clay figures, yep. If fans could do that, then I feel like they can sit and watch a 3D anime and not be, too I say too uncomfortable. Wallace Gromit or Pingu, yeah. Yeah, I just feel like fans can, because at the end of the day, me personally, like I said, I want, I want people to to give stuff a try at least, when it's pertaining to anime. Just check it out. We know that there are fans out there that just won't watch other genres of anime because that's their preference. They prefer like 99% action based anime, or 95 or 90%, a little bit of story. When the story sucks you in, the art won't matter at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if anime fans just gave some of these 3D shows a chance, maybe they'll like it. At least like it. I'm not saying that they'll love it, but maybe they'll like it, and maybe they won't. Because I tell people all the time, like, even if you don't like something, at least you have a specific opinion about it. People putting off One Piece and not picking up an episode simply because of the art style is an interesting perspective to me to have. To just simply say, I don't like it, it's probably bad simply because of the art style. Didn't even let the story breathe for 5+ episodes. But again, people are allowed to do what they want to do. So people are allowed to be upset if 3D animation becomes a more prevalent thing that these companies decide that they want to do in a specific direction. When I started anime, I was watching everything action, thriller, mystery, horror, romance, drama, shonen. At one point, I didn't even look at tags, didn't even know what they were. Mine has always been, for the most part, like my mains are usually action and comedy. I have branched out into watching some romance, some thriller, mystery, just giving other genres a chance. And there have been several that have actually caught my attention. It's like, okay, this is great. I am more of a action and comedy anime fan more than anything else. I saw the first episode of One Piece. Luffy wakes up, busts out of the barrel. From there, nothing else mattered. I knew it was going to be what I was going to be watching tonight. And sometimes that's what it takes. And then other times, like I said, when we even keep bringing up One Piece, I see on people online, they're just talking about it. They're just like, it took me hundreds of episodes to really get into the show. Friends kept telling me to keep watching, it's gonna get great. And there are other anime fans that watched 400 or 500 episodes and just said I just couldn't get into it and just stopped. And they were probably at the cusp of a specific arc coming up, and they missed out on possibly the shift that they were looking for. They just were just right there, like the one meme of the guy who was digging. This is a popular meme. The guy was supposed to be digging with his pitch thing, and he had like 1 or 2 hits or something like that, maybe up to 5 more chips of the thing, that he would have gotten to whatever was behind the actual wall that he was digging. And again, maybe sometimes that's the case with anime fans when it's pertaining to stuff like these animes where the art style just isn't connecting with them, and it's causing them to just not get into the story. I love comedy more than anything. Stuff like Way of the House. That's one that I gotta watch. Way of the House Husband. Detroit Metal City. I've never heard of that one. Never heard of the Cromartie High School. I love the insane humor. Nice. Yeah, that's the one I gotta watch. It's on Netflix. The Way of the House Husband. I heard that anime is really great. So maybe, maybe there will be fans out there that because the anime is starting to get some really great traction, really specific amount of popularity, where they find it because it maybe have taken 2 or 3 or 4 seasons to really fully pick up, and they're seeing this trend. They're just like, all right, I'm sick of y'all talking about this, sick of seeing all these posts. Let me finally sit down, because it has occurred past. Let me finally sit down and let me watch this anime. Maybe if a 3D anime does something like that, and it causes fans to really just be like, all right, let me watch this. And then that hopefully may be possible to help them to be like, okay, I understand. This is actually pretty good. I can continue watching. Way the House Husband's humor reminds me of Detroit Metal City. Okay, no. Yeah, I'm going to probably check that out. Maybe Wednesday. I'm off on Wednesday. We'll see. But then again, I might watch it tomorrow on my break. First episode. We'll see what happens. Because like I said, it's on Netflix. I'm not going to be able to do that. Or I might just do a live stream of me watching it here at home. Like I said, I am thinking about just doing some live reactions and review videos right here on the channel with the timer to the corner, and I'm just watching and have a watch along, and hopefully people will enjoy these live streams. Death Metal City is about a meek guy who wants to be a pop singer. He gets forced into being the front man of a death metal band that wears makeup, nice, and stuff like Kiss, stuff, nice. That's what's up. So we will see what transpires, what happens, if anything. Because I'm curious. Because again, they're, House Husband has episodes on the 20 minutes, some 15, some 18. Nice, okay. I'm going to give it a watch. That's one that I wanted to see. I just, like I said, I hadn't gotten around to checking it out yet. I got to get back into Devilman Crybaby. I have to get back into watching that. I was enjoying that one too. Now, that's a totally different art style than what we're used to seeing. I can say that for sure. Up to this point now. Same for Cromartie and Detroit. I watched those two when I was working. I'd watch them in the morning on the way to work because they are like nice. That's what's up. You could do that. I think that was you that was talking about yesterday with Ruby. You could technically do that with Ruby the first season, because some of the episodes are 5 minutes long, 7. Like they're literally like that first season. I don't think there's one episode on there that's 10 or more minutes. It's literally just like 5+ minutes long. You can knock out the first season in like an hour or something like that. I think maybe less. I don't know. I don't think the 3D is anything to really worry about. Art style will always vary. Yeah, it will. I just think, like I've been saying, like I just think fans, if they notice the trend, they're gonna be really upset because that's not their preference when it's pertaining to art style. And, I understand that change it is hard. You know, you're so used to something, you don't want it to change. It could be, the corner store that you grew up around for years, and that they decide to sell it to somebody else and they change into something else. And you're like, no, that's where I got this specific drink or this specific candy or whatever the case. You always went there practically once, 2 to 3 times a week, and after so many years, it changes. I took them out. I enjoy anime that are shorter. The stories are always fun. There's some anime with 3 minutes. That is true. So I like I said, I personally just hope that fans will give stuff a try, so that they at least can have an opinion about it. So that when topics like this come up, or whatever topic about the specific anime or whatever the episodes, they can actually just go in and say, hey, this is what I thought per this episode, but then, I just stopped and blah, blah, blah. They have at least their own mindset, their own thoughts on it. Just to have a specific something to just talk about, if that's what they want to do, and conversate it, join in on the conversation. But I would love for social media to get to a place where it would just be more civil conversations, but that hardly is ever the case. Even when it's pertaining to anime. And including dubbed versus sub, continuously is going to be a constant back and forth. And it's like, I just sit back and I'm like, just let people watch what they want to watch. If there's a fan out there that prefers 3D animation, don't sit here and be like, no, you shouldn't, why would you watch? Like, that's their preference, dude. They're allowed to enjoy that, because that's what they enjoy. That's what captured their heart. Just don't be what they say, gatekeeping is what it's called. Yeah, don't be a gatekeeper. And hopefully fans won't be a gatekeeper to the studios that make 3D animation. But I'm just like I said, I'm just curious. I'm wondering, will this be a consistent trend? These days, fans would rather not watch it and just borrow their opinion from toxic channels that did a video about talking about how bad it is. Yeah, that is true too. People do run. They literally do run towards toxicity, drama. I think that's another stream that we can talk about, that like toxicity and stuff. I personally don't like using that word. I just use the word that I just use is more old school for me. It's just drama. Like Alfred from Batman Begins. What did he say to Bruce Wayne? One of the most famous lines in the history of filmmaking that I constantly love, sometimes quote. Some people just want to watch the world burn because they love drama. But like I said, that's probably something that we'll talk about in another stream. Probably this week. Probably do that. But like I said, I don't call it toxicity. I just call it drama. People just love to cause and or watch drama. Basically like which I hate these shows, reality TV shows. Like, I hate those shows because it's still scripted. Like, it's just like I can't get into it, you know. So, but that's why I'm just like, that is a beautiful. I'm just watching this commercial. This commercial is a beautiful commercial. So I think, I think that people could even take this topic here and see it as toxicity, basically drama, and run with it, and then just start doing specific, like, this is bad, and this is why, and it's a conspiracy, and this, that, and the third, and it's just like, just like, just be just like, man, like, I don't, kind of want to calm down, take a chill pill, and rest your mind, don't overthink stuff, So yeah. I don't think, like we discussed though, I don't think that 3D animation will be something that takes over the entire industry. I could see it being used more. Same thing with CGI, because we are seeing some CGI stuff being used more in animation. But I do think that it can be used more. What I don't believe is that it would be something that is going to take over the anime industry as a whole. I think toxic fits more than drama. The creators are making drama, but the fans are toxic because of how they affect people and who aren't in it, and they sway people's minds with their opinions, even though they haven't even watched the thing they're so opinionated about. Yeah, that is true though. People will join in on the, like you're saying, the quote unquote toxic crowd. Because they enjoy I want to say, like, violent conversations. The definition of toxicity, they erode the rest of the fan base and make it hard for people to get into stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's true that it causes people to not want to do specific things. There was somebody that was mentioned something on social media where they were just like, I got tired of seeing this specific conversation. I think it was about anime, and they were just like, they just did not or just couldn't continue it because people were complaining so much about specific things that were going on. Like, because I want to say that specific person enjoyed what they watched while everybody else were just like upset, angry, mad, whatever the case, and they they were hopeful that there would be some fans that actually enjoyed it, they could have conversations with, but majority of the posts, the conversations, people conversing with each other, that it was just a whole bunch of negativity, and it literally caused them to stop watching it. And that's what's sad. Like, I don't want stuff to where, even with 3D animation and anime, to where it causes people to stop watching it because majority of fans are complaining about it, because it's ruining these specific fans that are enjoying the show. It's ruining their experience because everybody else is just like, it's bad, it's worse, it's what I'm talking about, it's a conspiracy, blah 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 blah. And then they're just like, no, that's not what I wanted to have conversations with somebody, and I can't because everybody is talking negative about the show. Opinions of those around you or those you like can definitely affect you. Yeah, they definitely can. Because it's true. They say it. Be around like-minded people. And of course, when there's negative like-minded people, in per this conversation when it's pertaining to 3D animation, yes, it will throw off other people who watch these shows and they're just like, I don't want to be around this crowd. Like, yes, you need people around you that are going to be positive most of the time. And if you can get around some really cool, really down-to-earth anime fans that won't go overboard with their opinions about specific anime or this topic that we're talking about, you're good to go. You're good to, you're cool. And that's what people need, right? People need some good down to earth positivity, even in the anime community. But again, the anime community can be very, very drama filled. Even when it's pertaining to that they were talking bad about Dragon Ball Super Superhero the movie and the animation art style and specific characters looking a specific way and this, that, and the third. People were talking really, really bad. People was talking about the Dragon Ball Z not having not being plot based or like story based, character development, all of that. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. It's the dub versus sub stuff, and it's just like I just want to be on social media just to have civil conversations with people on stuff. No name calling, none of that. Not looking down on somebody because they view something a specific way. Being around like-minded people can be a problem as well. They become a hive mind. You need people who have their own opinions and personalities, not ones that rely on others' thoughts and force. True. There definitely needs to be a balance with like-minded people, for sure. I just feel like we don't want to be around people who are bringing the vibe down. At least keeping the vibe level. All right, dude. People was whining, so I gotta take them out. That's fine. It's definitely always real. I'm actually getting tired myself, so I'm getting ready. I was thinking about cutting it off in like 5 or so minutes anyway, so stop this shit. I'm getting tired. But yeah, it's always real, dude. Definitely appreciate you stopping through. Thanks for hanging. Definitely hope you enjoy the rest of your day, or what, the start of it. I think I think it's Monday over your side of the world, right? But yeah, hope you have a great week to come. Probably will do another stream on Wednesday on my day off. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely, it's been real. But with that, like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you rewatching this replay, you watched it all the way through, leave some comment section below of the video. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Let's talk about some things. And as always, guys, stay safe, stay humble. I hope to hopefully talk to you all on another stream and or video to come soon. Peace, guys. Peace, man.